Hey guys, Jeremy Beeland here, and in this video I am going to talk about wholetailing. Not wholesaling, but wholetailing. And if you don't know who I am, well, I'm an expert at acquiring off-market properties direct from sellers, and I've made nearly 8 figures in gross profit since I started my business back in 2017. All right, guys, I have some good stuff with you today. Wholetailing is amazing. I love wholetailing. It's been a game changer in my business, and I'm really excited to share what wholetailing is to you. So everybody probably listening or watching this knows what wholesaling is, right? Wholesaling is the art of finding discounted properties, off-market discounted properties, and putting those properties under a contract with a purchase and sales agreement, right? A purchase and sales contract for 123 Main Street, and then using an assignment contract to assign the rights of that contract to buy the property at 123 Main Street, and assign the rights to that contract to an end buyer, usually a cash buyer, and we get an assignment fee in between, right? So if wholesaling is, we get a property under contract for $100,000 at 123 Main Street. We assign the rights to that contract to an end buyer, a cash buyer, for $120,000. That cash buyer is now going to buy the property for $100,000 and pay you an assignment fee of $20,000. Pretty awesome, right? You could do that all day long, make a ton of money, and you should be doing that and making a ton of money. But there is a bunch of properties that wouldn't work for that cash buyer, where you can still make a ton of money. And that's where wholetailing comes in. Wholetailing is basically the same as wholesaling, but the reason why they call it wholetailing is because we take wholesaling, the part of getting the properties off market, right, and putting that property under contract, but rather than assigning the rights to a cash buyer, we actually close on the property with our own money. Well, not our own money, private money. But we close on the property and then we put it on the MLS and we sell it to the retail market. Retail, wholesale, wholetailing. I think that's how it is anyway. But it's amazing. Now, not all properties would qualify for wholetailing. Now, we do it with a bunch of different properties, but if you're relatively new and haven't done it, I want you to think of wholetailing as a house that just needs a little bit of work. So you could buy the property, maybe just spend $5,000 to $10,000 tops, right? And every market's a little bit different of how far $5,000 to $10,000 goes. But maybe you just go in and clean it out and put down some new flooring. Or you go in, you clean it out and do some new painting. Or you go in, you pressure wash the outside, you clean up the yard, you get rid of some junk, and you replace a couple toilets, and then you put it on the MLS, right? Minimal work. You should be able to wholetail a property within a couple weeks. So you're going to buy the property, close on it, go in, do a few little things for a couple $1,000s here, a couple $1,000s here, and within a week or two, you have that property right back on the market, or on the market, listing it with a realtor and getting a bunch of people coming in putting offers on it. So wholetailing is just tremendous way to make money. What happens with a lot of these properties is they would never work for that cash buyer, right? Because there's not enough meat on the bones. And what do I mean by that? If you're buying a distressed house, like the one we talked about for $100,000 that you sell for a cash buyer, that value of that house, when renovated, your ARV, your after repair value, could be $200,000. So he may buy it from you for $120,000, be all in it for $125,000. He may put another $25,000, $30,000 in it. Right now he's in it for $100,000, $155,000, and he's going to sell it for $200,000. And he's going to make that difference between the $200,000, $155,000 minus some other costs that go in there. But in a situation like a wholetail, you may get the property at, say, $125,000 or $130,000, right? Where he wants to buy it. But now he can't buy that from you and still pay you an assignment fee because there's not enough meat on the bones for him to make a profit. And that's true. There really isn't. But rather than you saying, I have this nice house that I have gotten at a discount for $125,000, $130,000, none of my cash buyers will take it because there's not enough meat on the bones. Well, that's okay. Now you could close on it, put $5,000, $10,000 into it, and put it on the market for $150,000 yourself, and you probably get offers for $160,000, $170,000, $180,000. Be surprised, and then you'll make more than that $20,000, or at least equal to that $20,000. I love wholetailing. Again, it wouldn't really work so much on a house that is truly like a really beat up fix a flip, like a rehab or a Burr type house. But I want you to think of a little bit of nicer houses. This is a house where if you cleaned it up, did a couple small things, you don't have to replace the kitchen, do new roofs, you know, put all siding and windows, like none of that stuff. I'm talking, you know, you go in, clean it out, and maybe, you know, whether you paint it or replace carpets or anything, you don't even have to do that. People would still move into it, right? This would qualify for a conventional loan. Like somebody would get a home loan to buy this house. That's the type of house we're talking about. Now, when you're talking about most wholesale deals, we buy it for cash because they don't qualify for a home loan because they need too much work, right? They're too distressed. They need a roof and windows and everything else. And a mortgage company just says, whoa, whoa, whoa. We're not giving you a loan on this property. It needs too much work. You have to do all these repairs and fix all these things so we could be protected before we give you a home loan in this house. But these other houses, and a lot of them are out there, fall into the category where if you just clean them up, somebody can move into it. Now, it may be a little dated, maybe a little dirty, may need a little bit of love, but somebody can move into it right away. And there's a ton of properties out there. Sorry, I'm just referring to my notes here to make sure I don't miss anything. You know, what's great about wholetailing is you can make money with not just the ugly houses. You can make money with the not so ugly houses. And really, distressed houses come in all sizes, shapes, and conditions, right? Not just ugly houses. Like, so when you're driving for dollars, you're looking for all those bad houses, right? The ones that need a lot of work. Now, those are distress. But distress isn't always everything that you see visually. There could be some nice houses in the neighborhood where people are distressed. Somebody lost their job. They inherited a house. It's going through probate, right? It's in foreclosure. Maybe they're behind in taxes, right? Whatever those conditions may be for distress, it doesn't necessarily mean the outside or the inside of the property looks distressed. But the situation is distressed. And those people will sell to you at a discount all the time. Believe me, I know it because I buy these properties all the time at a great discount. And matter of fact, we probably do this almost as much as we do the ugly houses. That's how prevalent they are around the area. Nice houses can just be bought at a discount because of distress. Again, people sell it at a discount because we're going in to provide a solution for their problem. Now, if they're facing pre-foreclosure or they inherited a house they don't want and they live out of state, or their house has gone through probate, whatever the conditions are to create distress, we're coming in with a solution to their problem in exchange for equity in the house. Now, we may not get these 50, 60 cents on the dollar, but we can still get them for 70, 80 cents on the dollar, and then turn around and sell them for 80, 90 cents on the dollar. And that 10 to 20% can be a big game changer and a lot of money that you can make in this industry. When you're thinking about a wholesaler in your wholesaling business or your off-market acquisitions company, right? If you're just working on ugly houses, you may be able to get, once you get really good, do a couple of them a month, right? If you're working locally. But with wholetailing, and I know some people call this, another thing that's popular today is novations, but we're not going to talk about novations because novations, you don't physically close on the property, do some work and sell it. It's a little bit different. But wholetailing, there's so many nice houses out there, right, that would be distressed that you could add it to the houses that you're doing already, and you could probably double in size in a year. Now think about that. All your marketing's going out and you're going on to these appointments, and rather than saying, well, that house is too nice and there's not enough meat on the bone for an investor, I can't do it. Now you can. You can make money on that house too. And if you're making money on the ugly houses and the not so ugly houses, you could do a lot more deals per year and scale and make a ton of money. As I was saying, you can make a fortune doing it. Listen, guys, I've made millions of dollars from wholetailing. Millions. Some years we make hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars just in one particular market on wholetails alone. Like, wholetails generate a ton of money. And it's an amazing way to just add a ton of revenue to your business and make you guys a fortune. Wholetailing, this again, guys, is just the power of using other people's money. Do you know, I talk about private lending all the time. If you're a wholesaler, that's awesome. You can make a ton of money doing wholesaling. But if you could take wholesaling and then marry it with private lending, your world changes drastically because all these things, all these different exit strategies that require money, you can now do without using your own money, right? So I always talk about using private money to scale your business and make more money. Well, this is another opportunity where if you can find people to lend you money and you could pay them a good interest for using their money, then you could take down a lot of these deals, secure them by putting the property under their name so they're protected. They now the bank, they own the property from like a mortgage, right? They give you a private mortgage. They give you the money. You use that money to buy the property, do a few little repairs, throw it on the market, and they're protected because there's enough equity. So if you don't pay, they can foreclose on the property. But you're going to pay because they're going to get their money back plus interest. And they're going to say, hey, when are we doing another one, right? We want to keep doing them. Guys, I can't emphasize enough how big private money is as a game changer in your wholesaling business. Don't just be a wholesaler, right? You know, transition to bigger, greater, better by wholetailing, by double closing, by eventually flipping and burning rental properties, right? This is the power of private money. Take wholesaling and private money, mirror it together, and you will be a freaking rich person, I promise you. Like I said, I've been wholetailing for years, guys. I've made millions of dollars doing it. And, you know, another thing that's really great about the wholetail niche is, think about it. Most wholesalers aren't going after these houses. What does that mean for you? It means less competition, guys. Seriously. How many times have you gone into an ugly house and there's other wholesalers that you're working with? Well, in these nice houses, you're working maybe against realtors, but some of these people still don't even want to work with realtors. Wholesalers don't go after these houses because they don't fall into the traditional wholesale type house. These sellers don't want to work with realtors because they feel like it doesn't qualify to work with a realtor, or they don't want to work with a realtor. It's this perfect scenario where it's all for you to take. Just make them an offer that helps them and get it at a good price, and you have very little competition. Again, guys, great opportunity here with wholetailing. So let me share a couple stories with you guys, okay? 2 recent wholetails that we did here in 2024. We had this deal in Massachusetts we put under contract, and we were assigning it to a cash buyer. Something happened with the probate, something wasn't quite right, and for some reason it had to go back into probate. It took Massachusetts super slow, so it took like 4 or 5 months before they cleared up this situation with the probate, and eventually came around, and all right, and they're saying, all right, you guys get the thumbs up, green light, you can now get clear title and ready to go. So we reach out to our cash buyer, which we had it signed with, and the cash buyer says, sorry guys, I'm not going to move forward. I changed my mind. The market has changed. Okay. So we actually closed on the property, and all we did was clean it out. We didn't even put any work into it. We literally just cleaned it, took professional pictures, listed it on the market, and within a week, we were already under contract and ready to close a week later. We closed on this property 2 weeks after we closed on it and made $90,000. We had it assigned for $35,000. We closed on it with private money. I took the private money, I bought it, and I cleaned it out. I took professional pictures, put it on the MLS, had showings for a week. We got an offer. A week later, the guy closed. Cash offer, by the way. Didn't even have to be a mortgage. Sometimes it is, and that takes like 30, 45 days, but this one was cash. And we made $90,000. And then two weeks after I bought it, I closed on it. I got my check. My investor got their money back plus their interest. It was a win-win, okay? So that's what we do with some nicer houses. We actually do it with some ugly houses too. And this is something that you need to get more experience with before you do this. So I be careful. I recommend not doing this if you're new with taking down properties or haven't used much private lending. But when you get better at using private money and really knowing your market and you've done a lot of deals, there's a great opportunity with the ugly houses. So we recently bought this house in New Hampshire because, as you can see, that's one of my markets here, New Hampshire home buyers. And coastal Florida is our other market, coastal Florida home buyers. But here in New Hampshire, we got this ugly house. It was in bad shape, and they didn't want us to wholesale it. It was just, for whatever reason, they didn't want us to sign. It was a probate. There was many siblings involved, and they wanted us to just close on this property. They said, we don't want you assigning it. We don't want to show it to other people. And my acquisition guy said, listen, if we're going to get the best deal, we need to close on this property. All right, so we closed on it. We looked at actually flipping it, and then we realized, holy smokes, this thing needs a ton of work. More work than we want to do on a flip. So we like flips that are easy because, I don't know, we like to, focus on getting more deals rather than working on big projects. Just not our business model. So we closed on the property, and there was a ton of junk, right? It was in rough shape, but a ton of junk. I know my cash buyers in this area will always go, well, there's a lot of clean out here, and it's going to be $20,000, $30,000 in clean out. That's what they always say. And then they come in with really low offers because of the clean out. So what do? We close on the property, have a professional clean out company come in for a lot less than that, like a third of that. They come in, they clean out the property, get rid of all the junk. That was it. That's all we did. We didn't do anything else. So we spent probably, let's say, $10,000 cleaning this out, all right? And then we just listed it, a cash flip house that doesn't come on very often on the MLS, fully cleaned. Now, all you have to do is just come in, demo, and do repairs. All the clean out inside and outside is gone. That deal, right, got a bunch of cash buyers competing over that. And rather than probably just assigning that for 10 to 20 grand, which I think is probably 20 grand would have been the max we would have signed that for. We closed on it, had to pay closing costs, had to pay private lending money, had to pay real estate commissions out of it. And with all that said, we still made $40K. $40K. I made double the amount of money by wholetailing that property as opposed to just wholesaling a property. That's what I love about wholetailing. You guys work really hard getting these properties off market and providing so much value to the sellers. We need to make sure that we're getting every dollar on these properties we deserve because we work really hard for them. So you must find a way, guys, to implement this into your business right away. Like, don't let the fear of not having private money or the fear of not wanting to talk to people about private money. Like, if you want to be rich, you really want to be successful, well, then you have to just suck it up and go get private lending. Find some private money lenders in your area or in your network. Start asking people, I have great opportunities. Would you like to invest your money with me, right? Learn about it, guys. There's great books. The Private Money Guide by Chris Noggle. That's where I started with me. Tremendous, tremendous book that'll teach you everything you need to know about private money. And there's a handful of other books. Just get the knowledge and learn. Watch the videos that I talk about private lending. Watch the other videos here on YouTube from other people making videos about private lending. Learn, and then just go do it. Go find it. Don't be lazy. Go find private lenders so you can start doing more deals. Don't let it keep you away because, if you're letting the fear of adding private lending to your wholesaling business, you guys are missing out on a fortune. Ask yourself, am I going to let this fear prevent me from making tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars? What about millions of dollars? Because that's what we're talking about here. You get private lending, you can start adding millions of dollars of revenue to your wholesaling business, within a couple years. And that millions of dollars is yours. You're already doing the work. The only thing different is you're able to close more deals and use somebody else's money to do it. You have a skill set and ability to find these deals. Use that skill set and ability to find lending for those deals and start making more money. That's what it's all about, guys. Don't just hustle for a wholesale. Hustle to wholesale, wholetail, and burr and become super rich and a millionaire in this business. Isn't that what we all want? Have tons of time and to have abundance of money? When you're working on a wholetail situation, you need private money, you need to find the deals, you need to find yourself a good realtor, right? So look around, ask, your local REIAs, meetups, right? Post a thing on Facebook, go to the local Facebook groups in your area that are real estate related. Find yourself a real estate friendly realtor and work with that realtor to sell your properties so they can sell them for top dollar. All right, and work out a thing with them saying, hey, I need you to get top dollar for these. Let them bid the buyers up while you're working on getting the sellers to get the property as low as possible. Let the realtor work with the buyers as much as possible. And sometimes, you're going to have to do certain things like concessions or a little bit of work to get the deal closed. But guys, wholetailing is a game changer in your business. If you want to go away from $10,000 to $20,000 and get yourself to a point where you're doing $40,000, $50,000 consistently, and you want to be able to do bigger deals, more deals, and less cancellations, well, wholetailing is a tremendous way for you to achieve all of those things. Well, I hope you guys liked that video. Listen, if you're facing challenges requiring off-market properties, wholesaling, or increasing your profits per deal, well, I have a solution for you. Well, I don't want to pressure you into clicking the first link in the description, but there is a video that explains how we can help address these issues for you. I want to be transparent and let you know, though, that it is a sales funnel, and it's designed to offer you something. However, my main goal here is just to provide you guys value. And if this video, you found value in it, then I would appreciate it if you could just give it a like. You know this is going to help YouTube's algorithm. Recommend more videos like this to you. Also helps me, which I really appreciate. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment and ask any question you have. I'd be happy to answer them. Listen, guys, I just want to help you guys get more deals, bigger deals, and less cancellations with acquiring off-market deals. And if you could please, 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 please subscribe. That support would really mean a lot to me. I'd really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a great day.